There is one thing you cannot have, and that is something for nothing. As a professor said recently, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Some time ago, I was in a store, and they offered a package of blades free if you took 2 tubes of shaving cream. Well, of course, they can't give blades free, as you know. That's included in the overall price. At least it's included in the overall cost of running business, or in the customer's charge. Nothing is free. You must give your attention, devotion, and loyalty to some subject, and then you will get a response, of course. Come to the waters and drink. Yea, he that hath no money, let him come. Buy wine and milk without money, without price. But the price is recognition, price is belief, conviction. There's always a price to be paid. Nothing at all is free. As salvation, people say, is free. No, it isn't. By grace are ye saved through faith, Paul said. And grace simply means that the love, the light, and the glory of the infinite responds to any man when he calls upon it. Call upon me, I will answer you. I will be with you in trouble. I will set you on high, because you have known my name. So grace simply means the response of a supreme intelligence to your conscious thinking and acting. It's available to all men. It's not vouchsafed to certain people because of religious affiliation or creed or dogma. The nature of infinite intelligence is responsiveness, a response to all men. When you try to learn to walk, or when you learn to swim or to dance, you repeated a thought pattern, act again and again, and now you say it's second nature. Second nature is the response of your subconscious mind to your conscious thinking and acting. Just like you drive an automobile, at first you no longer, at least now, you no longer, touch the car with intensity or grip the wheel with intensity. Not at all. You touch it lightly. And actually it's your subconscious mind driving the car. It's effortless effort, in other words. It's effort without tension or stress. You paid the price, didn't you, in attention, devotion, and loyalty to a principle, and stick-to-itiveness, determination. Now you're able to drive the car, or ride the bicycle, or swim, or play music blindfolded. You repeated a thought pattern again and again with your fingers, and now you play automatically. It's your subconscious playing. So we pay the price for everything: recognition, acceptance, and conviction. Give your attention, your devotion, your loyalty to any subject. It will yield its secrets back to you. And if you do not give your attention to a particular subject, whether it's chemistry or physics or mathematics, well, of course, you will remain in darkness regarding that particular subject. I remember Mrs. Menier. She was a wonderful teacher in New York City. She lived in the Lucerne Hotel where I lived for a time in New York, and I used to speak for her occasionally. And she had a friend, a childhood friend, who would come, listen to her, take the books and all that, and she would borrow the old clothes that Mrs. Menier gave her, an old fur coat, umbrella, and things of that nature. And I said to her one time, why doesn't this woman listen to you, to your teaching? She doesn't have to borrow old clothes. Well, she said she's unwilling to pay the price. She's unwilling to give attention. She's unwilling to apply these truths. She prefers old clothes to wisdom. And I think Mrs. Menier was right. She preferred old clothes and second-hand umbrellas and things of that nature to the application of the mental and spiritual laws. All she had to do was give attention, devotion, and interest to the great truths. She didn't pay the price. She's unwilling to pay the price. And that's true of many people. She was very sympathetic and more or less kept on giving her these old clothes because, I suppose, of sympathy, which of course didn't do the person any good. At a summer seminar on the power of your subconscious mind in Denver some years ago, a woman said to me, I could have anything I want if I'd only believe I had it in my mind. I explained to her that the only thing you cannot have in life is something for nothing. You can't. You have to pay the price. And that she would have to pay that price. She'd been praying for the healing of a skin condition for 10 years with no results. She had applied various astringent lotions and other topical medication without any appreciable relief. The woman had never paid the price, and the price for healing is faith in the infinite healing presence. For according to your faith or belief is it done unto you. Now faith is not in a creed or a dogma or a church or a man or anything of that nature. If you have faith, for example, in chemistry, don't you study the laws of chemistry, of attraction, repulsion, the law of valency, and so on? Of course you do. And you bring forth marvelous compounds which bless humanity in countless ways. Your faith grows as you give attention to the great principles of chemistry, which are the same yesterday, today, and forever. So faith is attention, devotion, and loyalty to the one creative power. You have faith when you know thoughts are things, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you become. You have faith when you know that any idea, emotionalized or felt as true, is deposited in the subconscious mind and comes forth as form, function, experience, and event. Then you would have faith in the creative laws of your own mind. You would have faith that an infinite intelligence is responsive to your thought. When you call upon it, it answers you. And you have definite faith and belief in that. For example, men have been lost in the jungle, and they had faith that they would be directed and guided out of the place. They had no compass or sextant, didn't know anything about stars, where the northern star was or anything. But some men sat down and said, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me back to my battalion. He leads me to safety. He is guiding me now." And they follow the lead, that feeling that comes to men when you call on the Supreme Intelligence. And they were led oft times to the water where the river was flowing. And they would follow the river bank and then become rescued. That's the guiding principle. They paid the price, didn't they? Recognition, attention to it, calling upon it. Because if you do not call upon it and recognize it, it's the same as if it were not there. For this infinite intelligence will do nothing for you except through you. The price this woman had to pay was recognition of the power of the infinite, acceptance of that healing presence, and conviction that the healing is taking place now. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. She had been giving power to externals, saying my skin is sensitive to the sun, I am allergic to the cold weather, I believe this eczema is all over my arm is due to heredity, my mother had a similar condition, it's my genes and chromosomes that are at fault. Her mind was divided, she was double-minded. She had never paid the price, which was to give her attention to the infinite healing presence and the law of her own subconscious, to trust that law and believe in the healing presence, and that it would respond and come to pass. She began to pray as follows: the infinite healing presence which created my body and all its organs knows all the processes and functions of my body. I claim, feel, and know definitely and absolutely that the infinite grandeur and glory of the infinite are made manifest in my mind and body. The wholeness, vitality, and life of the infinite flow through me now, and every atom of my being is transformed by the infinite healing presence. I fully and freely forgive everyone, and I pour out life, love, truth, and beauty in all my relatives and in-laws. I know that I have forgiven everyone, because I can meet the person in my mind and there is no longer any sting. I give thanks for the healing which is taking place now, and I know that when I call, the answer comes. She repeated this prayer slowly, quietly, and reverently several times a day. She told me prior to my leaving Denver that a remarkable change for the better had come over her entire being, mentally and physically, and a complete healing began to take place before her eyes. She had to pay the price, by steadying and readying her mind to receive the gift of healing. Heretofore her mind was divided in its allegiance, as she was giving power to diets, the climate, heredity, and other factors. The Bible says, "Are you going to say it is hard for me? Is the Lord's hand shortened that he cannot save?" She began to understand that the scientific thinker does not make the phenomenal world or any external thing a cause. The cause of all is the Spirit within, the God presence. God is first cause and all-powerful, supreme and omnipotent. Nothing to oppose it, challenge it, thwart it, or vitiate it. And the moment you postulate another power, you are divided in your mind, and your subconscious does not respond to your divided and confused mind. If you begin to press the up and down buttons in an elevator, you would not go up or down, but remain where you are. Faith comes through understanding the laws of your mind and applying them diligently in all your affairs. You can grow in faith in the same way that I mentioned previously that a chemist grows in his knowledge of chemistry, or in physics or mathematics, enabling the research man to bring forth wonderful compounds for the alleviation of human misery, as well as removing the drudgery of life. Scientists are gradually growing in faith by constant research into nature and her laws, and they are accomplishing great things. The farmer has to deposit seeds in the ground in order to get a harvest. He must determine whether he's going to have wheat, oats, or barley. He makes a decision. He plants the seed in the ground. He has to give to get. He has to give to the soil. In order for you to receive, you must first give to your mind. Before you can receive wealth, you must first impress your subconscious mind with the idea of wealth. And whatever is impressed in the subconscious is expressed on the screen of space. You have things, you know, by right of consciousness only. You must build the mental equivalent into your mentality, whatever it is you want. You do this by giving your attention and devotion to health or wealth or peace or harmony or anything that you want in life. For the infinite is within you. The gift has been given. God is the giver and the gift, and you're the receiver. What can you give God? You can't give God anything. God is that infinite presence and power in all, over all, through all in all, the life principle, the progenitor, the father of all. What on earth could you give the infinite? It's all things to all men. It's everything. It's the blade of grass, it's the apple, it's the air, it's the sea, it's everything. The whole world was here when you were born. The only thing you can give God or the living spirit within you is recognition, honor, loyalty, and devotion. That's the only thing. Call upon me, I will answer you. I'll be with you in trouble. I'll set you on high because you have known my name. The name is the nature of it. The nature is to respond to you. And you're told before you call, I will answer. While you're yet speaking, I will hear. So the answer is already within you. The answer to any problem under the sun. Intuition is within you. You can be taught from within. Telepathy is within you. Clairvoyance, all these faculties are within you. You can change your mind. You change your body, and you change everything. Change your thoughts and keep them changed. All that any person can desire is already present in the divine presence within you, in which you live and move and have your being. For God lives, moves, and has being in you. God is the life principle, the progenitor, the living spirit almighty within you. For God is spirit. They that worship him in spirit and in truth. The very fact that you desire something is proof of the existence of that which you desire. And the act of desiring on your part is the response, brings about a response from the supreme intelligence within you. Your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before you ask. The need is already satisfied, the gift has been given, for God is the giver and the gift, and you are the receiver. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I hath is thine. All things be ready if the mind be so. Health is now, peace is now, the healing presence is within you, love is now, joy is now, power is now. Are you going to wait for for the power of the Almighty to flow through you is within you now. And say, the power of the Almighty is flowing through me now. Are you going to wait for peace? Says, someday you'll have peace of mind. The God of peace is within you. And that river of peace is flowing through you now. So the gift is already there. God is the giver and the gift. God indwells you. So all things be ready, if the mind be so. Accept peace and poise now. Accept inspiration now, guidance now. You must open your eyes, you must open your heart and receive. If you have something in both hands, you know, you must drop something to pick up something, mustn't you? You must get rid of the false beliefs in your mind and accept the truth, which is, for all things are ready, if the mind be so. Ready your mind to accept the gift. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. The healing power of God is within you. Heals a cut in your finger. It's right there. The surgeon removes tumor. He says nature will heal you. He removes the block. And so you'll always get a response. You have perhaps experienced this, that you try to solve a particular problem. You racked your brain, so to speak. You asked others to help you. You looked up all the books. You tried to find a solution, which the scientist or the chemist or the pharmacist sometimes does, or the research pharmacologist, or the doctor or the surgeon, or the astrophysicist. You struggle with the problem, you try to get an answer, and then you're exhausted. You sort of give up, and you turn it over to the deeper mind, and you go off to sleep perhaps. Oftentimes the answer comes to you in a dream, in a vision of the night. Comes to you sometimes as you awaken in the morning. Pops into your mind like toast out of a toaster. This happens over and over and over again. You pay the price. Attention, devotion, loyalty, recognition of a supreme intelligence which knows only the answer. And when you surrendered, when you gave up, when you turned it over and said, there is that within me that knows, then the answer came. You engaged a supreme intelligence and an infinite presence and power which responded to you. So you gave it attention and you got the answer. Einstein loved mathematics, and it revealed its secrets to him. He was engrossed and fascinated with the universe and its laws. The unified field theory came to him in a flash, like a flash of lightning into his conscious reasoning mind. He gave his attention, devotion, and industry to the subject of time, space, and the fourth dimension. And his subconscious responded by revealing the secrets of these subjects to him. Edison experimented, meditated on, and explained the principle of electricity. He had an intense desire to light up the world and serve mankind, and electricity yielded its secrets to him. He paid the price by perseverance, stick-to-itiveness, and confidence, knowing that the answer would come. Yes, he gave it attention and devotion too. He loved that principle of electricity, and of course he brought forth countless inventions because he paid the price of attention, stick-to-itiveness, complete dedication to his project. Knowing in his heart and soul there was a subjective intelligence which would respond. He kept on keeping on, and his deeper mind never failed him. Self-condemnation and self-criticism are two of the most destructive emotions, generating psychic poison throughout your system, robbing you of vitality, strength, and equilibrium, resulting in general debility of the entire organism. Love is the fulfilling of the law of health, harmony, peace, and abundance. Love means that what you wish for another, you must also wish for others. When you love the other person, you radiate peace and goodwill to him, and rejoice in his success and happiness. I suggested to a musician that in order to become outstanding in his field, he should pray as follows: God is the great musician. I am an instrument and a channel for the divine. The God presence flows through me as harmony, beauty, joy, and peace. The infinite presence and power plays through me the eternal melody of love. And when I play, I play the melody of the one who forever is. I am inspired from on high, and majestic cadences come forth, revealing the eternal harmony of God. Within a few years he became extraordinarily successful. The price he paid was attention, reverence, and devotion to the eternal being from whom all blessings flow. A man who cannot make ends meet must pay the price, and the price is not hard labor and burning the midnight oil, but it is in building into his consciousness the idea of wealth. Man possesses all things by right of consciousness. You can work 14 or 15 hours a day. If your mind is not productive, your labor will be in vain. Is your mind productive? Wisdom is an awareness of the presence and power of God in you. And understanding is the application of that intelligence and that wisdom to solve your daily problems. The kingdom of God is within you, kingdom of intelligence, wisdom, power, and beauty, for the divine presence is within you, and all of God is where you are. You can work 14 or 15 hours a day, and if your mind, isn't at peace, if you're not full of geniality and cordiality and goodwill, your labor will be in vain, for faith worketh by love. You may have tremendous faith in your particular field of engineering, science, art, industry, or business, but if you lack cordiality, geniality, and goodwill and good feeling, you stumble and fall, don't you? So the kingdom of God is there. This means in infinite intelligence, boundless wisdom, and all the power of the infinite are lodged in your deeper mind. God's infinite ideas are available to you, if you only tune in and rejoice that infinite Spirit is revealing to you what you need to know. For God is Spirit, and they that worship Him in spirit and in truth. So you worship no man on the face of the earth. Worship is to give your supreme attention, loyalty, and devotion to the one presence and power within you. For I am the Lord, that is my name. My glory you shall not give to another, neither shall you give my praise. I am, and there is none else, and from the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, there is none else. So you see, when you realize there's only one power, moving as unity, moving as harmony, there is no cause for evil anymore, because you've enthroned in your mind the one presence and power. A man who lived near me on Alpha Street some years ago told me that in 1950 he was bankrupt. He prayed for guidance and asked that creative intelligence reveal the next step. He had an overpowering feeling to go into the desert, and while musing there, the idea came to him to visit his father-in-law. He told him the tremendous potentialities he foresaw in that desert place, that people would leave Los Angeles, they'd come out from the east, and they'd build homes and hospitals and schools and all that in that desert place. And his father-in-law hired him as a salesman, promoter of the desert land. Today he has his own office and is a multi-millionaire in real estate. The faculty of intuition is within you. He was taught from within what to do. He paid the price of recognition and of following the lead which came to him. The mere fact that you desire an answer means the answer is already present in your mental and spiritual world in which you live and move and have your being. Yes, it's there as an idea, there as a principle, as an archetype, as a pattern. For everything comes out of the invisible. You came out of the invisible yourself, and so did the whole world. So again, realize that in Him you live and move and have your being. God lives, moves, and has being in you. God is the giver and the gift, and you must be a received. You must be a good receiver. Receive the gift. Many people are very poor receivers. They say the good things are not for me, they're for Mrs. Jones down the street, Well, everything has been given to you. God Himself indwells you. The whole world is yours. The sun shines on the just and the unjust. The rain falls on the good and the evil. Mathematicians tell us there's enough fruit rots in the tropics to feed all humanity, rots in the ground. Go out into the desert and pour water will grow anything. You can have an idea worth a fortune. A creative idea, yes, it will come to you too, but you must pay the price. Recognize it. You may be a stenographer or a salesman. You may be a chemist or a doctor. But you can say, Infinite Spirit within me reveals to me better ways in which I can serve. God's creative ideas unfold within me, revealing to me new and better ways of accomplishing great things and of serving humanity. New ideas will come to you, yes, original ideas, and wonders will happen as you pray that way. But remember, you must recognize it is there, you must call upon it, you must have faith in it, not mumbo-jumbo. Some years ago I visited Jasper Park Lodge, Alberta, Canada, a very beautiful place, by the way, and the waitresses and the waiters and the men there, all from the various colleges in Canada, summertime. And they're all studying, studying along various lines, but they're all college students. One of the waitresses there had a very perplexing problem. I suggested to her that at night, prior to sleep, she turn over her request to her deeper mind. I said, you must recognize it only knows the answer, and go to it with faith and with understanding. I said, when you do, it will respond. You must pay that price. Price is belief and acceptance, just recognizing it is there. When you turn the tap, you expect the water to flow, don't you? Well, there you pay the price. You believe the water will flow, and then you use your fingers to turn on the tap. She spoke to her deeper mind this way. Reveal to me the answer. I know that you know only the answer. She lulled herself to sleep with this prayer. The next day she received a telegram from Ontario, which solved her problem. She had to pay the price by thinking about the answer, knowing that there was an answer. She gave attention to her deeper mind and received the answer in the morning. There's something you must do first, and the answer will come. The Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Yes, the God-presence forever, controlling the universe, guides the planets in their course, causes the sun to shine. It's operating in your body, takes care of you when you're sound asleep. You must do something. You must begin to use it. Call upon it, it will not respond to you. If you do not call upon it, if you do not recognize it, if you do not believe in it, it's just the same as if it were not there. For the God-presence will do nothing for you except through you, through your own thoughts, your own imagery, through your own beliefs and conviction. So, you're told, get wisdom. With all they getting, get understanding. A doctor has wisdom, for example. A young intern wanted to become a surgeon. His hand was shaking, he was nervous. And he had to take a glass of water, tumbler full of water, up the stairs and down again for half an hour every day. It took him 6 months before he had a steady hand. He paid the price. He became a great surgeon. But he had to pay the price, attention, devotion, get rid of that nervousness, and take a glass of water full to the brim without using a drop. Would you give up after a while? Would you get bored and say, oh, I can't be bothered? Well, he wanted to be that, and he had to pay the price, didn't he? You don't want your hand to shake when you're operating, do you? You want a surgeon who's poised and balanced, serene and calm, and who's skilled, and has wisdom, isn't it? He's skilled. There's wisdom in the ophthalmologist with a laser beam, or he takes a detached retina and heals it up in a minute or two, or takes out a cataract. Well, he's skilled. He paid the price of attention. He has absorbed, fascinated, and growth, study, and application. And now he's the great surgeon. He's called to Arabia, he's called to England and Ireland, different places. You can rest assured he doesn't have to pray for wealth or money. It just flows to him. Because he has skill, he has wisdom, dexterity. There's the mechanical wisdom, where you can't, for example, solve the problem. But the mechanic, he looks at the problem, sees it immediately, and solves the problem. He has studied mechanics, perhaps loves cars and all their parts and so forth, gave attention, studied, applied himself, perhaps took a car apart, and read up all about the techniques and the modus operandi, and now he's very skilled. And one man recently says, a young boy going to school, he said, get $5 an hour because of his skill and his application, because of his intense interest and his devotion and application to his studies. So you see, you have to pay the price, and then it is done unto you as you believe.